Okay, I want to make a little remark here, and I think it's worth making, and it has to do with Rebbe Melech HaMoshiach and the true faith of Judaism. And basically, people might say to me, well, we're glad that you have your religion, but it's really not Judaism. I would reply, well, so you're saying Judaism had no fulfillment? It only had a veering away, the butterfly of the Techiyas Hamasim, the resurrection of the dead, being a veering away from the butterfly larva that leaves us with only resurrection, wishful thinking, and two religions. Well, this is my way of challenging you to see that if the resurrection and the messianic fulfillment actually happened, then calling it a different religion is like saying the butterfly is a different species from the caterpillar. So this is the point I want to make. If Yeshua is, in fact, the Jewish Messiah, then what happened? What happened wasn't Judaism splitting into two religions. It was Judaism reaching its intended fulfillment. And there were some Jews, Messianic Jews, who recognized this, and others, of course, tragically did not recognize it. So it's a metamorphosis metaphor. And I believe if you think about it, you will see that it is really an apt metaphor. The metaphor is basically this: the caterpillar doesn't become something foreign to its nature, it becomes what it was really all about from the beginning, what it was meant to be. Dismissing the butterfly as not really the same organism would be absurd. The DNA is identical. The fulfillment was encoded in the original. We're talking about the Techiyas Hamasim, the resurrection of the dead. Resurrection wasn't the innovation of another religion. It was a core Pharisaic rabbinic Jewish belief. And if one person's resurrection happened as first fruits, Bikurim, 1 Corinthians 15:20, that's not abandoning Jewish hope. That's the beginning of its realization. That's the realization of Judaism. From a believing perspective, the question isn't, did another religion veer away from Judaism, but did most of Judaism refuse to recognize when its own promises began to be fulfilled? Was there a blindness in part? So if you are saying these are different religions, you're operating from a secular historical framework where basically what is done is competing religious claims are analyzed. But if the messianic and the resurrection claims are true, then the movement wasn't creating a new religion. It was Judaism arriving at its destination. You have to get that. Torah observance among Jewish believers happened. Look at Acts chapter 21. It wasn't contradictory. It was faithful Jews living in the already but not yet of messianic times. The Gentile inclusion wasn't a departure. It was the fulfillment of promises to Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. So there is a development here from within a belief that these events actually occurred, looking at it from an insider point of view, from the point of view of faith. If Judaism's promises began to be fulfilled, then what was going on was still Judaism. And so, Lord, I want to pray right now that somebody will come to you, the Messiah of Judaism, and fall down on their face and acknowledge the true God of Israel. Moshiach ben David, come into my heart, forgive my sins, take control of my life, and I will serve you and follow you all the days of my life. And everybody said, Amen.